Deep beneath the island of Crete, inside a maze of endless stone, something waited. Not a god, not a man, but something in between. Half human, half bull. The world remembers him as a monster, a beast, a nightmare made flesh. But monsters are not always born. Sometimes they are created. This is the tragic story of the Minotaur. Long before the Labyrinth, there was a king. His name was Minos. He wanted power. He wanted the throne of Crete. But he needed proof that the gods supported him. So he prayed to Poseidon, god of the sea, god of storms, god of vengeance. Send me a sign, Minos begged, and I will honor you. The ocean answered. From the crashing waves rose a magnificent white bull. Its skin shone like moonlight. Its breath steamed in the cold air. It was divine. It was sacred. And it was meant to be sacrificed. That was the promise. But when King Minos saw the beauty of the bull, his heart changed. He did not want to destroy it. He wanted to keep it. So he lied to the god. He sacrificed a different bull and kept the divine one for himself. And that was his mistake. Because the gods never forget. And they never forgive pride. Poseidon did not send lightning. He did not send fire. He chose something worse. He cursed the king's own house. Minos had a queen. Her name was Pasiphae. She was wise. She was noble. She was innocent. Until the curse touched her mind. A strange madness grew inside her. An unnatural desire. A desire for the sacred bull. She fought it. She resisted. But the god's will was stronger. Ashamed and desperate, she turned to the greatest inventor in Greece, Daedalus. She begged him for help. And Daedalus did something unthinkable. He built a hollow wooden cow, covered in real hide. So realistic, it could fool the divine beast. And from that twisted deception, something impossible was born. A child, with the body of a man, and the head of a bull. When the baby cried, its voice was not human. When it looked at its mother, its eyes were confused. It did not understand what it was. It did not understand why it was different. King Minos looked upon the creature and felt only shame, only anger, only fear. He named it the Minotaur, the bull of Minos. Not as a son, not as a child, but as a curse. The Minotaur grew stronger each year, taller, more powerful, but also more isolated. Servants refused to look at him. Guards trembled at his presence. Whispers followed him through the halls. Monster, beast, abomination. And hunger grew inside him. A hunger he could not control. A hunger that terrified the kingdom. So Minos made a decision. If he could not erase his shame, he would hide it. He ordered Daedalus to build a prison. Not just walls. Not just chains. But a maze. A labyrinth so complex, so endless, that no one who entered could ever escape. Stone corridors twisted endlessly. Paths led nowhere. Dead ends waited in silence. It was not just a prison. It was a tomb. And at its center, The Minotaur was abandoned. Alone. In the dark. No mother. No father. No voice calling his name. Only echoes. And hunger. Years passed. And Crete grew powerful. Athens challenged its rule. And Athens lost. As punishment, King Minos demanded a terrible tribute. Every 9 years, 7 young men and 7 young women sent into the labyrinth. Not to fight, not to win, but to be hunted. The gates would close behind them. Their screams would echo through the stone. And somewhere in the darkness, heavy footsteps would follow. The Minotaur became a symbol of terror. A story parents whispered to their children. But inside the maze, there were no stories. Only survival. The creature did not know justice. Did not know politics. Did not know revenge. It only knew hunger. And loneliness. And the feeling that the world feared him. Before he ever had a chance to understand it. Then one year, everything changed. Among the Athenian youths stood a prince. His name was Theseus. He was brave, confident, determined to end the horror. He volunteered to enter the labyrinth, to kill the beast, and free his people. When he arrived in Crete, someone watched him closely. Ariadne, daughter of King Minos. She saw something in Theseus. Hope. And perhaps rebellion. She gave him a gift. A sword. Sharp and unbreakable. And a simple ball of thread. Unravel it as you walk, she whispered. So you may find your way back. Theseus nodded. And stepped into the darkness. The stone door closed behind him. Silence swallowed the air. He followed the thread. Deeper and deeper into the maze. The smell of dust. Of blood. Of something wild. Then. A sound. A heavy breath. A low growl. 2 glowing eyes in the dark. For the first time, the hero and the monster faced one another. Theseus saw a beast. A nightmare of muscle and horn. The Minotaur saw another human who had come to hurt him. To fear him. To attack him. Steel flashed. The labyrinth echoed with roars. Man against creature. Sword against horn. The battle was brutal. Violent. Desperate. And in the end, the hero's blade found its mark. The Minotaur fell to the cold stone floor. His breathing slowed. His strength faded. And for a brief moment, there was no rage in his eyes. Only something else. Something almost human. Confusion. Pain. And perhaps relief. Then silence. Theseus escaped. A hero. The labyrinth remained. But its heart was empty. The world celebrated the death of a monster. But few asked, who truly created him? Was it the creature who never chose his birth? Or the king who broke his promise? Or the god who punished the innocent? The Minotaur never asked to be born. Never chose to be feared. Never chose to live in darkness. And yet, he became a legend. Not as a victim. Not as a child. But as a beast. Sometimes, the most terrifying monsters are not the ones with horns, but the ones with power. And so the labyrinth stands in memory. A symbol. Not just of horror, but of what happens When pride challenges the gods, and innocence pays the price.